Welcome to the Vantage HR Influencers Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Vantage Circle, the simple and AI-powered rewards and recognition platform for employee engagement.
Welcome, listeners, to another enlightening episode of the Vantage Influencers Podcast. I'm your host, Sanjeevani Saikya. Together, we'll explore the complexities within the vibrant landscape of HR. We'll delve into intriguing subjects crafted to spark your interest and ignite inspiration. The evolution of total rewards philosophy has been a transformative journey over the past decade. It has reshaped the very fabric of how organizations engage and retain their talent. This shift underscores the pivotal need to reassess our approaches, aligning them with the diverse expectations of a modern workforce. As we navigate this era of change, unraveling the nuances of this evolutionary trajectory becomes essential. So today, join us for an engaging discussion with Surbhi Rastogi, Global Total Rewards Lead, Allcargo Logistics. We will explore how total rewards have evolved over the past decade. Hi, Surbhi.
Hi, Sanjeevani.
First of all, I'm thrilled to have you here today to talk about changes in total rewards philosophy over the last decade. But before we dive in, I'd love to hear a bit about your journey. So could you walk us through your corporate journey so far?
Sure, Sanjeevani. So all through my career, I have been in total rewards. I started my career with Infosys Technology post my MBA. And the very first project was a compensation planning project with Bank of America. With this project, as the project lead, I traveled to London. And in London, I decided to move towards the HR side of things. And I joined GE Capital in London as their European compensation analyst. In this role, I was handling around 6,000 employees across Europe. So around 12 countries, France, UK, Germany, Nordics, Benelux, etc. And we were mainly concentrating on the compensation practices, market benchmarking, annual salary planning, etc. 3 years into the role, I decided to move back to India. And I joined Coca-Cola India Inc. as their India and Southwest Asia lead for total rewards. Here again, I was handling the compensation as well as benefits part. But a year or so into the role, I had a toddler at that point of time. So she wasn't doing too well health-wise. She did not like the move from Europe to India, and she was falling sick very often. So I had to take a break. In the break, I had my second daughter. And when she was around 8 months, I joined Deloitte Consulting as their lead for the entire consulting practice. I handled the compensation strategy for around 3 to 5 years for them. But then again, I had to take a break because there were a lot of late nights, a lot of traveling. And with 2 young children, it was really difficult. And then I took a longer break because I decided that I need to be with my children till they are a little older, a little more independent. So I took a longer break. And in this break, I did my certified rewards professional course from Aon. And I also did strategic HRM from XLRI. And then 2022, I joined Allcargo as their global total rewards lead. Here, I'm handling the total rewards for 3 group companies, Allcargo Logistics, Gati, as well as ECU worldwide. And I'm also overlooking the performance management practices. So that's been my journey so far.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Really appreciate it. So with your permission, I'd like to begin today's conversation.
Sure, please, let's go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. As the workforce evolves, so do the strategies that organizations use to attract and retain talent. Over the last decade, we've observed significant shifts in how companies structure their total rewards system. These changes haven't just been about offering more benefits. I think they reflect a deeper understanding of what motivates employees and what keeps them engaged. Given this backdrop, we can explore the fundamental shifts in total rewards over the last decade. What key factors do you believe have been instrumental in driving these changes?
So I believe there has been a lot of change post-COVID. So if we look at the pre-COVID era and the post-COVID era, pre-COVID, the concentration on the sheer compensation, the salary in hand,
Yes.
and the benefits which you get was much larger. But during COVID, people got used to the flexible working benefits. They
True.
also realized the importance of maintaining their health and well-being. So, and with the Gen Z coming in, I think the entire concentration has moved a little bit more. Of course, money is important, but there are various other benefits which the newer generation is looking for in their total rewards package.
Yeah.
So they are looking for well-being policies. They want mental health support. They want flexible working benefits. They want wellness programs, and they prefer employers who give all these. They also prefer organizations which understand why they need flexibility in their working. So, organizations which give you a flexibility to work from anywhere at any time are preferred over the traditional organizations which have a typical 9 to 5 working and which require employees to be in the office all the time. There is also an increased focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, organizations which are creating more diverse and inclusive workplaces, those are definitely more preferred by the Gen Zs. Then, one thing which now the employees are looking for is usually previously the rewards packages used to be very similar for the entire pay band or the entire grade. But now people want customization and personalization in their packages. So the employees want to pick and choose which benefits work for them more. For example, for a 20-year-old, they may not be looking at medical insurance for their parents and in-laws, whereas a 40-year-old, for them, benefit where they get medical insurance coverage for their parents or their in-laws or extended family members might be very important. So they want that flexibility where they can pick and choose which benefit they want. And also now the total rewards leaders need to make the best use of AI and data analytics and understand the pulse of the organization so that they can implement real time changes to the rewards, and they can make the best out of whatever they're offering, the best return for the buck which is being offered. So I think these are the changes which have mainly happened over the last decade.
True. So, according to you, it is not just the compensation, but what comes along with it, the other benefits
Yes.
and the customization along with it, right?
Absolutely. If we look at the LinkedIn surveys over the past 2, 3 years, from the monetary compensation being at the top of the ladder, that has moved down the ladder. Now people are looking at flexible benefits. People are looking at wellness programs. People are looking at managers who are supporting the growth of the employees. So, of course, the hygiene factor is money, but that's not the only thing which is needed.
Interesting. Again, I think the role of technology and globalization has been transformative in reshaping how companies approach their reward systems. From remote work capabilities to access to global talent pools, these advancements have altered the way businesses view and, most importantly, implement rewards. Have these shifts influenced your perspective on how organizations should structure or implement their reward systems?
Yes. So one thing which is very important is that when it comes to rewards, you have to incorporate the global changes as well as the local laws which are there. So the technology really helps in that, where you can localize your benefits even when you have global vendors who are offering this. The second thing is staying agile and embracing innovation in the total rewards design system. So we need to create more flexible and tailored approaches to meet the diverse needs of the workforce. So this is something which the technology can enable. The third thing is that what are the effective rewards which will help in attracting and retaining top talent. So there are tools and there are surveys which have been designed to understand what are the employee motivators, what is keeping them engaged, and what can we offer more. So all of this needs to be leveraged further so that the effectiveness of the reward systems becomes more and more. And of course, AI is now coming into being. So I'm hoping that when it comes to the market benchmarking figures, the kind of changes in the industry, which used to earlier be annual surveys and where we would get the pulse of the market within 6 months to 8 months, that will be much faster to receive with the AI tools and the technology advancements.
Yes. Surbhi, as someone deeply rooted in the HR domain, you have likely witnessed how attracting and retaining top talent has become fiercely competitive.
Yeah.
I'm sure total reward strategies have adapted to meet the evolving expectations of employees.
Yes.
So, according to you, what strategies have emerged as particularly effective in attracting and retaining top talent amidst this shifting landscape?
I think the needs of the current generation has changed. So
Yes.
if you look at the millennials, the way we grew up, or even the generation before that, we somehow grew up with the mindset that we need to have, a salary coming in every month, and we need that financial stability. We need, long-term tenures in one organization. The current generation, the needs are very different. People are not looking to stick with one organization or be loyal to one organization for the rest of their lives. They're not looking at 10, 12, 15 years in one organization.
Yes.
People are not looking at financial stability as the basic. Most of the children who are coming in this workforce, they already have the basics. They might have a stable home, AC, a car, a great phone. They already have these things. So now the organizations have to look at what further you can offer to this generation. So definitely the overall well-being becomes a priority. When they come into the workplace, they're not just looking at coming into office, working and going back. They want their employers to look at their overall well-being. They want the mental health support to be there. They want the managers to be involved in the overall growth and development and care for the employees. They're looking at organizations which take care of diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are surveys which prove that organizations which are taking active steps towards having initiatives towards diversity, equity, and inclusions, they are more preferred as employers. Employers which are taking care of ESG initiatives, their carbon footprints, those are more preferred employers. You also need to take care of the learning and development opportunities for this generation.
Yes.
So you need to take care of the reskilling and upskilling. You have to provide avenues for self-skill enhancement and career growth. This entire package would help in retaining the top talent, not just the monetary return which you're offering to the employees. This is what I feel.
Okay. Yeah. I think you must have observed that the increasing emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion has catalyzed a deeper introspection within organizations. In a way, companies are recognizing that their total rewards packages aren't just about monetary compensation or benefits, as you've already mentioned this,
Absolutely.
but potent tools to foster an inclusive culture. So I believe it is a need of the hour to understand some of the specific modifications or adaptations that companies have made in their total rewards packages to ensure they embody and promote DEI principles. So what's your take on that?
So I think personally, as a rewards professional, I myself am pretty invested when it comes to DEI practices, especially having been in this field for over 15 years now. I've seen the changes, and I understand as a working mother what is the kind of emphasis which is needed to support the 50% of our population.
Yes.
So I believe that one thing which has traditionally been there has been the pay inequity in the market. So now organizations are conducting thorough pay equity audits to identify and rectify these disparities in compensation. This disparity could be based on gender, on ethnicity, or demographic factors. So a proactive approach is needed to ensure the fairness in the total rewards. The second thing is that we need more inclusive benefits packages. So the total rewards packages need to be restructured to cater to the diverse needs. So you might need to offer family friendly policies where child benefit policies. You can have health coverage which includes women's health needs. You need to support various lifestyle choices. There could be adoption leaves. There could be, creche facilities being provided. All of these need to be included in your benefits package. Also, you need to offer, and more so post COVID, the flexible work benefits. I think the best thing about COVID, despite the pandemic having many negative effects, has been that organizations and managers has opened the mindset of various organizations that work can be done from home also, which has opened a completely different demographic which could not come into the offices to work. So there are women who can work from home, who can contribute positively while taking care of their houses. So you need to incorporate that flexible working arrangement, and you need to have roles which are designed around the same. That is one thing. Then there should be diverse representation in the leadership. So companies are placing strong emphasis on achieving this diverse representation. So here, what you need to do is you need to encourage, not just, you shouldn't go in for a reservation that we need a 33% representation on the board. But while the women are in lower and middle management, give the mentorship, give the opportunities which will make them better leaders going forward. Help them to, while taking care of their families, how they can fulfill their professional responsibilities so that they evolve into leadership positions. You also need to take care of the training and development programs. So these training and development programs need to specifically target the underrepresented groups and bridge the skill gaps, foster career growth, and empower employees from diverse backgrounds so that they can advance within the organization. And make sure that wherever they're falling short, if someone has a new baby and they need flexible working arrangements, how can the organization alter the role so that that can be enabled? If someone needs creche facilities, if you do not have a creche facility on board, can you offer tie-ups and discounts for the nearby facilities? Things like that need to be taken into account.
Okay.
Also, one thing which our organization also did, look at different populations, hiring from different diverse populations.
Yes.
So for our women employees, there's an extra referral bonus given because we saw that especially in logistics industry, there was very less representation of women. So if you refer a women employee for certain position, and if the person gets selected, you get an additional referral bonus compared to referring a man, for example. Also, we have women only shifts where only women are employed for those shifts, for those locations. So that is something. In between, we were also looking at hiring war refugees in Europe when the Ukraine crisis was there. So as an organization, we decided when it comes to, certain positions, those could be given to war refugees. They could be trained and that would help them in employment. So you need to look at diverse populations, look at specially abled people, look at veterans, look at different populations being hired into your organization, which also opens the mindset and gives different perspectives in the organization. I believe every organization which has more diverse population working for them, has more innovation in their products. They have wider markets which are open to them. So I think this is something which the organizations need to take very seriously. And lastly, you need to have a very transparent communication about the total rewards. The employees need to understand the components of their total rewards packages and how the compensation decisions are being taken. For every diverse population, you need to probably customize the packages towards their needs, have employee resource groups which are helping them with their specific issues, and communicate how you're offering these benefits to that employee group. I think these are certain things which we can do to promote the focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion in the organizations.
Yeah. You have mentioned some really thoughtful initiatives, I must say, really wonderful. Do you think post COVID, the companies have started talking about DEI more, or was it there but less discussed? Now, considered in total rewards package, what has made them shift? I mean, I wanted to know a particular reason that it is more apparent post COVID, because I am sure earlier it must have been there, but it was less discussed. So, why do you think?
Yeah, so it was always there, but I think post COVID, as I said, the mindset of people to employ women. So, for example, I was a mother, I had to take a break from my career because I had to concentrate on my caregiving responsibilities at home.
Yes.
But post COVID, once work from home was enabled, when there are flexible working hours which are there, now there are more and more women coming in. There are people with disabilities who can work from home. There are people from diverse populations who can work from their own hometowns or wherever they are more comfortable with. With all of this being in place, when now that the employers are more open to these options, obviously the dialogue around diversity, equity, and inclusion has increased.
Yes.
So there is more dialogue around it. There are more organizations which are taking active initiatives around it. There are employees who want to work for employers which are more open-minded and which are offering more, diversity-friendly policies. So overall, I believe in a few years, we'll see a much more diverse and inclusive population at our workforce, which is representative of the, society which we live in.
Yeah. So the move towards personalized rewards isn't just a response to the evolving workforce, but a strategic acknowledgement of the diverse motivations and preferences that employees bring to the table. Surbhi, could you elaborate on how organizations have operationalized this trend towards personalized or customizable rewards? Additionally, have there been notable impacts or observations regarding employee satisfaction and retention rates stemming from this tailored rewards strategy?
Absolutely. So now organizations are increasingly shifting towards personalized and customizable rewards. The reason for this is, as I said, there are diverse populations which are working in the workforce, and the needs of these employees are very different. So the organization has to aim towards creating more tailored and flexible total rewards packages. Now, the impact on the employee satisfaction rate and the retention rate has been pretty notable, because what personalized rewards does is that it allows the employees to choose the benefits which align with their individual circumstances and priorities. So this fosters a sense of empowerment and value. For example, if I am a 25-year-old, as I said earlier, that a medical insurance for parents or in-laws may not be more relevant, but I might want a wellness benefit. I might want a gym membership, or I might be looking at hobby classes, whether it's guitar or drumming for my time away from office. So does the organization offer that? If I am, say, someone who's 50 plus, are they offering annual health checkups, certain special benefits where there is a doctor coming in, where there are specialized eye camps, dental camps, etc. So all of this helps meet unique needs of the employees. based on what they're looking at. Even the total rewards, the compensation part, now people want to pick and choose. If I want car lease as a benefit, I can pick that. If I want, say, LTA as a benefit, I can pick that. So even in the basket of allowances, they want to pick and choose what they would want to be to avail for. And these personalized rewards can significantly enhance employee retention. When employees feel that their contributions are recognized and rewarded in the ways that they matter to them personally, they're more likely to stay with the organization. And this approach not only attracts the top talent, but also fosters positive and engaging work environment, which encourages long-term commitment towards the organization.
Okay. Surbhi, measuring the success of total rewards programs has evolved significantly over time. I'm sure of that. Today's organizations seek more nuanced and comprehensive ways to assess the effectiveness of their programs compared to a decade ago.
Right.
So, how do you think organizations measure the success or effectiveness of their total rewards programs today?
Right.
And have there been notable shifts in the matrix or methodologies used? What do you have to say about that?
So I think there's a mix of the traditional approach and the new approach over here. We always had the employee engagement surveys, but with AI coming in, these have become more customized to what the employee is really feeling, because every question can be based on the question which is previously asked and what is the response of the employee. So now the employee engagement surveys assess the overall satisfaction and motivation of the workforce, what they are looking for in, say, a total rewards program. What is the inherent need or the hidden need which the total rewards package might need to address. Also, the retention rates and the turnover rates, those help in analyzing the success of the total rewards package. Of course, if the retention rates are high, then the employees are happy with the total rewards package and they're most likely to stay with the organization. Even now, total rewards is one of the reasons why employees leave. So having an effective total rewards package is a hygiene factor. That's a given, that you need to have certain tick boxes. Besides that, of course, there is, the relations with the manager and the leadership, mentorship, and other reasons why a person might be leaving. But the rewards package is the basic need which needs to be fulfilled for the employees to stay within the organization.
Yes.
And then the performance metrics and productivity. How are the employees performing? Are they motivated with the bonuses which you are offering? Do you need to offer retention plans over and above your rewards and bonuses? That is something which can be analyzed.
Okay.
Then you need to do a cost benefit analysis. You have to understand, evaluate what is the return on investment which the organization is getting on the total rewards package. So this involves assessing the costs associated with providing the various benefits and comparing them with the positive outcomes, which is increased productivity, reduced turnover, improved morale. So all of this needs to be measured.
Okay.
We also need to look at the attraction and retention of the top talent. So your hyper talent, which is your high potential talent, what are they looking at? What are their key motivators? Is your total rewards package designed to retain, attract more talent from the industry and retain the one which you already have? A successful program should position the company as an employer of choice, and they should contribute towards building a competitive advantages in the talent market. So there are organizations which are known for their reward packages, where the employees want to join because they know they will be taken care of very well. And not just them, but even their families will be taken care of. And then with the growing emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion, organizations are also incorporating specific metrics related to these principles. So this will include tracking the representation of the diverse groups in, say, middle management positions or leadership positions, And then assessing the impact of total rewards and closing the pay gaps. Any pay inequities, how are those addressed? So those metrics are also tracked now. And of course, integration of technology and analytics to gather the real-time data. What are the employee preferences? What is the utilization of benefits? For example, I am tracking a benefit on employee wellness, which I introduced 3 months back in the organization. So every week I'm tracking how many people are on the app, how many people are availing, which are the specific services which they are availing for. So this helps you get the feedback from the employees, and you can incorporate this and make further changes to the benefits which are offered to the employees. So I think these are the ways, certain matrices which are now being used to track the total rewards performance and how you can further enhance the benefit for the employees.
Okay. Now that employers know it all too well that employees may not commit years and years to their organizations. So does it, in a way, apart from keeping compensation as the hygiene, what is that one factor that they consider while designing the total rewards package? What is, apart from the compensation, what is the second most important thing that they would consider? Do they really invest a lot in reskilling and upskilling the employees?
Yes. So continuous learning and upskilling and reskilling has become very important, especially because the kind of technological changes in the market are very, very fast. So if we look, say, a year back, we hadn't even heard of AI, right?
Yes.
And now we are talking about jobs going out of business because of the AI which is there. We are talking about the work which used to take hours or days to finish. It's finished in minutes nowadays. You can create presentations, videos, Excel sheets, name it, and you can do it. So all the administration part of the work has been taken over, and that can be completed by AI. So you have to look at how you will upskill all of that segment of the organization to make sure they are enabled to do their jobs better.
Yes.
What can you reskill? What, now that this part of the job has been overtaken by technology, what else can they do? So definitely total rewards increasingly need to incorporate opportunities for continuous learning and upskilling. And investing in employees' professional development will contribute to their career growth, but it will also help modernize the workforce for the organization itself. So that is something which is definitely there. It's an emphasis of the organizations. And also, now the employees want the organization to take care of their well-being. So you're not looking at just going and, now the time of employees going, working for 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, being burnt out, stressed out is gone. Now the generation is looking at organizations which give them holistic well-being. They want people to take care of their mental health.
Yes.
They want the physical health benefits also. They want gym memberships. They want, yoga sessions. They want annual health checkups. They want the financial well-being to be taken care of. Give us, say, financial experts, which will help us invest, which will help us plan for our retirement and various other things. So, apart from the traditional benefits, you have to look at the total rewards package in a sense that it is offering all of this. It is offering the various platforms, various experts, which can take care of your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial well-being overall. So you're not coming into work just for the money, but for your overall, the whole person. And you're looking at the career growth in form of the upskilling and reskilling as well. And then, of course, you need to take care of the personalization. What generation, what person needs what benefit. So that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
And so these are the main things. But, of course, which I talked about earlier, you have to focus on inclusive leadership and diversity matrix. You have to adapt innovative benefits. What is it that you're doing differently compared to the other employees? For example, one of the things which we are offering is we offer for our leadership, we have planned to offer certain leadership programs in Ivy League colleges. So, someone who is going from a middle management to a higher management, what are the kind of leadership courses they want? What is the individual development plan which they would need specific to their personality? So you would have an individual assessment. Do you need more business knowledge? Do you need more leadership skills? Do you need communication skills with intergenerational workforce? What do you specifically need, and that can be worked upon? So that needs to be taken care of.
True.
So all of these are, certain total reward strategies which need to be kept in mind as we go further into the future.
Okay. So you have very thoughtfully answered my question. So thank you so much. So Surbhi, we are arriving at the end of today's episode. But before we let you go, there is one last thing that both our listeners and I would love to know your take on. So looking ahead, what do you foresee as the future trajectory of Total Rewards philosophy? The future trajectory is one part that our listeners really love to hear. So what do you have to say about that?
I think as a total rewards specialist, we all should envision our role, even as talent professionals, to be very honest, as steward of employee well-being, equity, and engagement. So we have to embrace the evolving expectations of the workforce by prioritizing personalized and inclusive total reward strategies. We have to cultivate a workplace culture that values diversity, fosters environment where every employee feels seen, heard, and appreciated. We have to stay at the forefront of innovation, leverage technology and real-time analytics. This will help to tailor the benefits and compensation packages to individual needs. And we also have to emphasize on continuous learning and upskilling opportunities to make sure that your team is empowered for success in an ever-changing work environment. And we have to understand that the future of total rewards lies in our hands. You have to be a part in crafting an experience which extends beyond financial rewards. This should encompass holistic well-being, career growth, sense of purpose, which will attract and retain top talent, and it will also contribute towards building resilient and thriving organization.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
True. So as we wrap up today's podcast, is there a message or insight you'd like to share with our listeners? Your perspective has been invaluable, and they would love to hear any parting thoughts directly from you. Additionally, for those who might want to connect with you after today's episode, could you share how our audience can reach out to you? So go ahead, Surbhi.
Sure. So you can reach out to me through LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn and do check my messages. You can also email me at surbhi.rastogi@allcargologistics.com. So I would be happy to answer any queries you have on total rewards or otherwise. And I'll be happy to also help with anyone who would want to, return to workforce from a career break. I have done that multiple number of times, and I know there are women who are struggling out there to return to their career after the break. So please feel free to reach out to me, and I would be happy to help in any way I can. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very, very thoughtful of you. Surbhi, it's been a pleasure to have you as our guest today. Your insights and expertise have been invaluable, and we are grateful for the time you have taken to share your knowledge with our listeners. So Surbhi, once again, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sanjeevani. This was really an interesting conversation, and I hope our listeners can benefit from it. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks for listening to the Vantage HR Influencers Podcast. Please do subscribe to Vantage HR Influencers Podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and our YouTube channel for new episodes.